Welcome to another podcast of Herbal Adventures. Today we got a subject to talk about. I'll be using my phone to read off of the blog I did on my personal blog through Medium. I think it's just registered under my name, Reese, R-E-E-S-E, if you'd like to go and check the blog out. A couple days ago, I got invited to a Zoom meeting, and they tagged the hemp board that I'm a part of for the state of Minnesota. By seeing that email, I assumed it was another board meeting for the general group of people that are part of it that get emails to do. I got this guy up here. They didn't put a title on it. There was only 7 or 8 of us that were tagged to be on this meeting, and you had to accept the invite and a little email verification showing that you were attending, date and time. I thought that was a little odd because normally the Minnesota Hemp Board usually tags what we're going to talk about, and they tag a couple of guests. This one didn't have it. I got onto the meeting. I didn't have my camera on. I just kept my screen blank, and it started out kind of normal until nobody from the board was actually on the meeting. It was just 3 major companies. I'm not going to label them. And then 3 farmers that were also producers. They own their own production companies. And besides just doing a roll call, which they went off of one of my emails, and I'm assuming that's where a mistake came in. Because they labeled me as a production facility, and I'm just a wholesaler and I sell online. So I don't produce my own products out of house, and I don't farm, so I wouldn't be included into this group. Let's cut the crap and get into it. They dove right into one, just calling out smoke shops being foreigners running them, stating that they're incompetent, they don't know the laws, they're horrible competition because they can sell whatever they want and they don't seem to get in trouble. I found that very racist, and I was appalled. And they went right from talking about, sorry for that cutout, my cat started really meowing at me wanting treats, but I had to give him treats out in the living room and jump back. Sorry for the delay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. They went from calling out mostly smoke shop owners and just small business people like me. One guy literally said, we need to get rid of the 70% of these people that are running their shops out of their house. Just a hit in the gut, because that right there told me they didn't know who I was, and they didn't know I was listening. They talked about implementing a lobbyist to make a law that was structured like the new cannabis law that is going through the Minnesota legislature right now. And they wanted it to be for only hemp-derived THC and hemp-derived products that this new license would cover. On top of that, they were talking about implementing a new tax on hemp products, so that would help pay for this new organization that they were going to make, where they would control what laws and products would be implemented in Minnesota. So they would be the first ones to know. They'll be able to set up their businesses to have the products first or to get rid of the products. I had one gentleman interrupted while one was speaking, and he said, everybody here has other states where we can produce and ship products to, correct? And everybody said yes. And he said, all right, I want to get rid of THCB, THCO, HHC, blah, blah, blah. They went through the whole list of all those products. They want to get rid of any of them and only have Delta 8 and Delta 9 THC only derived from hemp. While saying this, they want to ship all of their remaining hold to a different state and then implement the law and literally fuck over anybody that still has these items. They don't want to tell anybody that they're going to implement this law. They just want you to read it. They don't want it to be announced. It's going to be public information, but you have to look it up. They want you to look it up and do the research. They don't want to help out any small businesses, any smoke shops. They want to implement taking away selling any CBD. You can literally sell CBD anywhere in the state of Minnesota. And they want to make it so only gas stations, liquor stores, technically smoke shops, any places that ID already, they want to implement to make that 100% the law. So that would take out a ton of companies that are selling CBD right now. The way they're structuring it, the way they're structuring it is literally to take out the small business owners and take any profit small business is taking so they can absorb it all, and then they can regulate the system. On that, they want to make it so only certain companies are grandfathered in for the new license, and if you don't meet certain requirements, you don't get the license. So regardless of how you view this and how you see this, if you are not helping out your community, if you are not helping out small businesses, and you are looking on how to, one, steal customers from other businesses by getting all your rich friends together and implementing laws to screw the little guy over, you should not be in this industry. One, you're all of them on there, besides one lady, we're all older white people, and they just want to keep it controlled in that situation. And that's honestly how I feel. I feel like none of that meeting was about how do we keep everybody afloat. It was, we see what the cannabis side for marijuana is doing, and we want to copy that so only a small group gets to maintain all the money, all the laws, all the regulations. They're implementing that no products can be produced out of the state of Minnesota. They can't be imported. So if we're in Minnesota, we have North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. None of those states can be producers of hemp, even if it meets Minnesota requirement. This group wants to implement that only Minnesota production companies can make products to be sold in Minnesota. Talk about restricting the whole industry when a lot of these companies will not work with small businesses. They are only looking to do major wholesales. So they're not planning on helping you out. The hemp industry that's in Minnesota, if they're multi-million-dollar companies or they're pushing $1 million profit, you will consider them right now as an enemy to the small businesses. They have no intentions to helping small businesses out. They only want to help themselves out. With that being said, with all this coming into effect, the new taxes, the new license, the taking away products to regulate what is on the market and what can be sold, is going to take me completely out of business in Minnesota. And that's what they want. And they probably will get that because I can't afford it. And it's pretty sad. I'm going to continue doing this podcast with products that are legal in Minnesota. I'm going to try running my business out of Wisconsin still. I don't know what my future is for the cannabis side, business-wise, selling-wise. I just know that I love this industry and I love helping people out. And it's just, yesterday I took off the whole day and just felt like crap. Stomach churning, gut wrenching. Just, I feel lost. I feel like the last 2 years I've been really struggling to do this on my own and barely keeping it afloat. And the new laws that keep coming into effect, that keep pounding and hitting, just they're taking their toll, and that's what they want. They want to get rid of the small businesses, and it's only going to be a small group of rich people that rub it in everybody else's faces of how well they did. The worst part is 90% of them are going to be older, Gen X, boomer, rich white people, and they're going to fuck over everybody else that want to come into this industry. I, for one, am just sick of seeing that around the world and seeing it happen in the industry that I helped get up and going. I've been a part of it from the beginning. I've been very supportive. I'm at a loss for words. Just to be born with a silver spoon up your ass is amazing. How fast they'll turn around and try to screw everybody else over and act like they're big businessmen. This podcast is a little off the rails today, and honestly, I don't care. I hope the next podcast I have a product that I can review and some other subjects to talk about other than something sad and depressing. I really hope anybody that sees this podcast gets the information they need out of it, and maybe even contact their local legislative department and put in your complaint to your officials. Minnesota has the Medical Cannabis Board, and that's for medical cannabis. They're also the ones pushing the legalization of what they call marijuana cannabis. So they want Delta 8 and 9 to be legalized, but only derived from marijuana. And this other group wants only THC derived from hemp, but very limited on which products they could be. I really don't know what else other than rambling on and repeating the same things. I'm hoping that new information comes about. I did not get added to their update meeting. The one guy was going to go and talk to a guy they want to lobby for their new law they want to implement. And when he was going through the names, he stopped on mine, questioned it, looked at the email, and he said that within like 15, 20 minutes after ending the meeting, he'd be sending out another email for an update meeting. And I never got it. So I figured they saw that I was not the person they thought I was, maybe. Or maybe because my name popped up as Reese on Zoom, because it's on my computer, and that's what my Zoom meetings come up with, my name. I overall think they might have found out, they might have said something to somebody they shouldn't have, and I don't know what to do with this information. I just honestly wanted to sell cannabis and run my podcast. I didn't want to get shoved into the middle of this. I am lucky that I did, though, because being blindsided would have been even worse than knowing ahead of time and then being able to get this information out there before they implement it. That's what we need. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I hope on the next podcast I have something a little lighthearted, something fun to do. I have a few things in. So thanks for listening. I appreciate everybody that listens, follows, likes. As long as the information's getting out there, it's out there. This meeting was done 1/17/2023. And I have the emails, and I took a picture on my phone of the meeting while I was on it because I thought it was part of the Minnesota Hemp Board Association. So I do have proof I was on this meeting. Do I want to post it? No, because the name's on there. I don't know if I want to get that out just yet. If any other information comes in, I will hold on to it and we'll go on forward from there. But like I said, I'm pretty sure about towards the end of the meeting when they were all looking to figure out who this Reese was, which company he was, I'm pretty sure that's why I never got an email for an update meeting. Other than that, do what you want with this information. I suggest that if you are supportive of small businesses or supportive of the legalization of cannabis altogether, this is something everybody should look into. Thank you. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next podcast.